Okay, alright. Monday Night Raw. A lot of things going on in the show tonight. Number one, hope everybody's out there and enjoying their Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe and everything. Lot to get into tonight. One thing before I kick off the show for Monday Night Raw. Please check out my Double or Nothing review that is uploaded online right now. It was an audio review, but tonight we're going back with video because obviously I didn't know I was going to say that much in the audio review to Double or Nothing, especially for over an hour and 30 minutes I did on there. But I guess I had a lot to say there. I guess I lost track of time doing that review. But yeah, check that out. That is uploaded online right now. A lot of things to say about that. Very mixed opinions on that show. So you'll get my full thought on that from, the ladder, the Stampede, or whatever. Just check it out. A lot of things to say on that. But we do kick off the show tonight, Monday Night Raw. Of course, they have their Memorial Day video and whatnot. But something different about this show we kicked off tonight with Monday Night Raw. Of course, you have commentary, which was at ringside this time for Raw. And, SmackDown's usually on, on commentary at the side of the ring and at the top of the stage. But this week, we have now a crowd. We have a crowd this week now. Mostly, and I said this multiple times, and I'm sure other people have said this too. Put the wrestling school students out there to act as the crowd and, cheer and whatnot. I'm sure everybody's going to say, well, AEW had done it first, so WWE is copying them. And yes, I can see that, but this was the best idea. I've said this for over almost a month now, honestly. Just put the wrestling school students out there or some of the roster and, just have them pose as the crowd and they'll just, cheer or boo or whatever they have to do it. Hey, AEW's doing the same thing, so you can't really get mad at anybody else for doing it. Gotta get some type of crowd reaction, and I guess they thought at this point we'll do a crowd reaction instead of just doing the whole empty without nobody there. We'll put somebody there to cheer on and just cheer, just make some noise, basically. Make some type of noise. And there were a couple NXT names out there. I know I saw Shotzi Blackheart and Kaden Carter. I don't know who else, but a lot of these guys were just performance center trainees, and they all had different wrestling shirts on, and it was a giant plexiglass all around the ring off the barricade, which also they kept a lot of these wrestlers 6 feet apart from each other so they're not standing too close, which is understandable. I saw a lot of people calling it ridiculous tonight, but hey, you gotta take safety measures right now, right? I can understand that. It's the virus, so I get the barricade and everything. The 6 feet, I almost thought they were all in separate pods at one point, but yeah, they all got to stand 6 feet away from each other and not stand that really close. But at least there's a crowd. So I didn't mind it. And the show felt a little bit different tonight with some type of a crowd noise out there. So yeah, just put the wrestling school students out there and they'll just, slap hands and cheer and whatnot. And we'll try to get this shit over as much as possible. Been saying this for a while now. But we do kick it off with the Kevin Owens show. Kevin Owens was out there, called out Asuka. Asuka was chanting for Becky. Owens pretty much, got to market Becky's new shirt that's out right now. The man, the mom, whatever. But, it's Asuka. They pretty much played clips for Asuka for winning the title and everything. And her thoughts on this triple threat match tonight to see who's going to be coming after a championship. Charlotte came out first, pretty much told Asuka that the Raw Women's title should be handed to her instead, even though she's already the NXT champion, but hey, double title, I guess. Flair pretty much talked about how Asuka has never beaten her. Natalya came out next in, pretty much says, I'm here to cause problems, which you could see Kevin Owens actually take out his set, because some of the signs, and I think he was smart about this, he takes out this, half of his set and everything, because he knew Natalya trashed his set last week, so he just took it out himself before she could come break it. Natalya apologized to Kevin Owens about her temper tantrum last week, but, she's been frustrated lately, and, Charlotte pretty much says that she's sucking up to Owens. Nia Jax came out then, that pretty much say everyone knows that she should be the next champion. And pretty much talk about what she did to Kairi Sane last week was an example of what she's going to do to Asuka. Owens pretty much says those are fighting words. By the way, when Nia Jax came down to the ring, just like Owen said last week, when there's more than like 2 to 3 people in the ring, he knows there's a fight that's going to happen, and he knows that's going to cause trouble, so he's going to immediately leave the ring. So, in a way, he goes on his word to like he said last week. All right, are you going to trash my set last week? I'm going to take the stuff out now before you come break my set. Oh, it's 3 or 4 y'all in the ring. I know where this is going to happen. I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. So, Owens playing the smart one here. I will say that. But, pretty much said, because he says whatever you guys do, Asuka does next. She should not hit Nia Jax in the face. Basically, Asuka ended up hitting Nia Jax in the face, and they brawled, same with Charlotte and Natalya. Asuka was the only one left in the ring so, yes, that was the first segment of the show, because we got a triple threat match later on with all these guys. Next was Apollo Crews, who was being interviewed in the back, pretty much talking about how he's ready for this U.S. title match. It's going to be the greatest night of his career, and then he's going to become new U.S. champion. He went against Almas. This was a very good match. One thing to take away from this match was Garza was talking to Caleb Braxton, and he compared this match to pretty much making love to a beautiful woman, which I guess he talked about the two bodies coming together and talked about... Basically, he's comparing wrestling and fucking somebody, okay? So, kind of weird, but he's somehow trying to make this work. I kept listening to his promo, so I'm like, so let me get this straight. He's comparing a wrestling match to fucking a bitch, eh? That's what he's trying to do right here. So somehow he's trying to make it sound similar and make it sound the same, which somehow it looked like he was trying to get it over, which it looked like he made it work. But I said to wait a minute. Is he really comparing a wrestling match to fucking? Is that what he's trying to compare this to? I was a little lost on that. But he somehow made sense. But yes, after Garza spoke, like I said, the match continued. I know Vega got knocked off. I think it was during the picture was knocked off the apron. But Cruz pretty much came back with a military press over his head, and then did a standing moonsault and a shooting star press for the win, a standing one, by the way. So Cruz won the United States Championship. I was very surprised by that. Very surprised. I didn't think he was going to win. I almost thought they were going to wait to the pay-per-view for this to happen. But Apollo Crews is the new U.S. champion. They talked to him after the match. Pretty much talked about, this is his first ever championship win in the WWE. It talked about 11 years of hard work, sacrifices, how people doubted him in the past, saying he would never make it, but now look at where he is right now. He is the new United States champion. So, I got to give it to Cruz, though. You really do, in a way. Because, I've said many, many times that they have buried this guy in the past, several times through the past few years now. And I've always said that he should have never been called up from NXT too early, okay? He really shouldn't have, because I always thought it was strange, like, really, they're going to bring him up already? And it looked like they never did anything with him. He was mostly a joke. He mostly jobbed out to everybody, and then it looked like he was going somewhere. He still didn't go anywhere, even when it looked like he's about to go somewhere. It's almost like he's either played second banana or fiddle, or in some type of comedy, or just horrible segments he was mostly in. But I think, in a way, this pandemic has helped Apollo Crews, though. Because if a lot of wrestlers are going to really take off and don't want to be around here, during the virus, so basically, I guess he looked at it as, I'm going to step up to the plate, I'm going to step up for an opportunity, and I'm going to make something around here while this pandemic is going. Yeah, shit looks bad right now, but I'm going to make the most of it, and I'm going to make a name for myself around here. So, like I said, you got to give the guy a lot of credit. All right, like I said, I felt like they have wasted him, in almost the past 4 years. I think he's been on the main roster. Cause I think it was when SmackDown started going live on Tuesdays, and that was 2016. And like I said, it always looked like he was going somewhere, but it just looked like it was bad. And I just said this guy should have never left NXT. He should have been on there a little bit longer before he was even brought up to the main roster. But like I said, he had a really great promo, and I was very happy that he won the title. So I gotta say, I said this on Twitter tonight. It's about fucking time. About time this guy finally won a championship around here. So Like I said, I almost thought it was going to be a backlash, but doing it tonight felt pretty damn good. It really felt pretty damn good. So, like I said, I feel like this pandemic has done him a favor, at least, though. Hey, man, if nobody else ain't really going to be around like that, I'm going to step up to the plate. So, good on Apollo Crews. Next, though, we got Seth Rollins in the back, holding Rey Mysterio's mask and everything. Pretty much talked about, he's been better than he's ever been, and it's all due to Rey Mysterio holding that mask up, and brought in his two disciples, Murphy and his newest one, Austin Theory. Rollins pretty much said he was in a dark place after Money in the Bank, but now he's put himself in at a time of need, that Rey Mysterio was chosen as a sacrifice for the greater good, okay? And that the pain Mysterio and his family had just been in, and talked about his his son Dominic. I feel like he's gonna show up next. Pretty much says he doesn't know what the future holds for Rey, but that was his final act as a WWE wrestler, and it was a courageous one, as he said. And as we moved on to the future, like I said, his two disciples right there, Austin Theory, his latest one, which is now the new one, and talked about this guy was underutilized and underappreciated, but now he's under the guidance of Seth Rollins now. As Murphy went on, that he had friends, but they abandoned him. Murphy pretty much said that, he needed the Monday Night Messiah to lead into the future. Pretty much said that Theory and Rollins found him. He was nothing, but now he is something, and that Rey Mysterio's firsthand of the goodness that was brought to Raw. So, yes, more of Seth Cult Jesus out here tonight. Next, they went to Charlotte, who was talking in the back, talking about possibly becoming a double champion, and pretty much said she's one of the most prolific, women's champions in WWE, and pretty much that she has raised the bar for this division. Asuka danced her way around her, pretty much saying red is not your color before leaving while still dancing. Next, the Iconics came out. Here we go. Because this segment only, one out of the 4 women I actually liked in this, but, they Billie Kay was apologizing last week for slapping Peyton Royce, and listen, it's all good. We've done a lot coming in together, we've known each other for a long time. We signed our WWE contracts together and everything, and that, that their opportunity was taken away from them as champions. Alexa Bliss and... Excuse me. My bad for the pause. The camera's acting up for a second. But yes, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross come out then. Pretty much talk about that you guys wasted your opportunity for the tag titles and you blew it. But pretty much that Iconics told Nikki Cross to be grateful, and Cross. But yes, Nikki Cross cut this promo though. As I was saying, yeah, the Iconics told her to be grateful, but then Nikki Cross pretty much started talking about how you want to talk about grateful. You want to tell me to sit around. Listen, I've scratched and clawed my way when I left Glasgow, Scotland, and had nothing, and now I am something along here right now. So, like I said, very great promo from Nikki Cross, though. Pretty much says that, pretty much now we're the champions, and that is iconic. But the Iconics end up jumping Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, pretty much beating up the tag team champions, leaving up the ground before they held the titles up. So, good promo from Nikki Cross, though. Very fiery promo, and that was actually really good. Probably one of the better promos I've heard from Nikki Cross in a very, very long time. I know it's not the same thing as NXT, crazy Nikki Cross, but that was not a bad promo, though. Next, VIP lounge with MVP, because MVP was getting ready tonight. I know they had Lana try to interrupt them, which I have no what her purpose is on TV at this point anymore. We'll get into that later on in a second. But MVP, though, like I said, he was there for the VIP lounge, which he had Drew McIntyre again. Well, we saw that win last time, but McIntyre pretty much there. He says, "Where is he?" MVP says, I don't know what you're talking about. And McIntyre says, "Listen, you have to worry about, what happened." All right, says, "Listen, no contact or anything." MVP told Drew McIntyre that, Remember the last time you was on here, I tried to give you some guidance, but you ended up giving me a Claymore kick. And I like how Drew said, you just have to say, all you gotta say is Claymore. You don't have to say kick right after it, okay? But MVP pretty much says, listen, I had two thoughts after taking that Claymore kick. One would, you become the WWE champion, but then MVP pretty much talked about how I played a part into that, is when you gonna lose the title. Because Lashley has not had a title match in over 13 years, okay? Or was it 9 years? Or 13, I believe. But McIntyre says, listen, I've been waiting for 19 years to get this moment, okay? And I finally got my WWE title shot. I got on my first try, I think he said. And I've main evented WrestleMania. And listen, I don't need anybody, thinking or talking for me. I don't need some, ass kisser like you. McIntyre pretty much said that Lashley saying one thing. That was true. The only way he's going to have to take this title from him is take it off his cold, dead hands. But MVP said that can be arranged. Lashley came out and says he's going to be the new WWE champion. McIntyre ended up kicking him with a Claymore kick, knocking him outside the ring then as Lashley helped him up. So, once again, McIntyre outsmarting MVP again. Like I said, not a bad segment. At least it was pretty short this time. But it got its point where it had to get across to with MVP Lashley and Drew McIntyre. So that wasn't bad. Next though, they interviewed Natalya, who was supposed to be interviewed but ended up taking a phone call from Tyson Kidd, her husband, and pretty much that she wanted to just focus on the match tonight. But before she could even come back to the interview, they were out of time. Then Kevin Owens was back out then, who was supposed to be in a match with Garza. But Garza ended up attacking him from behind. The match still went on. After Garza attacked his leg. And throughout this match, Kevin Owens tried to go up for the pop-up powerbomb, but Garza dodged it. Owens' knee gave out, and Garza hit him with the wing clipper. So for once in a while, somebody from Zelina Vega's stable has actually won a match, because, just lost the U.S. title tonight, and finally someone from this group wins a match, because obviously they have buried Almas's group for I don't even know how many weeks at this point, because all they did was take L's, so they finally got a win. Don't get me wrong, Kevin Owens had an outright here, because, he got attacked before the match, but at least someone in this group finally got a win, because, like I said, I was surprised to see Cruz even win tonight, because I actually thought he was going to let Almas get the win and wait till Backlash, but I guess they went with tonight, though. So, yeah, Garza beat Kevin Owens. Next, yeah. Okay, so let me get this straight. So we have seen, let's count here. We've seen basketball. We have seen axe throwing. Now tonight, we get golf. Golf. Street Profits. War Machine, or whatever you want to call these guys. I don't know whether to call this funny or not funny, but so this week we playing golf, right? And we talk about golf etiquette and what we gonna do, and they end up hitting multiple people while trying to golf out there, and even riding around with the golf cart, and one of the, part of it's collapsed in, which at one point, the someone from the golf course ended up throwing them out, because they got tired of them doing all this crazy stuff. So, we gonna move on to some mini golf next. So, they pretty much had a caddy that looked like Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead. He looked like Andrew Lincoln. I don't know why, but at first I'm like, Rick? I'm like, why is Rick on Monday Night Raw? Because I watched The Walking Dead, so this dude literally looked like Rick Grimes, I'm telling you. But they start going around mini golf, playing around, and I guess the Viking Raiders was not getting any shots on them, which for some reason that same woman that was there last week as a cop pretty much said that, Hanson was cute, but the other one was not, was there again. I guess she was now she was an attendant at, or some employee at the golf course now. And, it ended up with the Street Profits winning 28-144, which when the Viking Raiders finally got a hole, they thought they won because they score higher, but obviously they have not played golf. Street Profits says, listen, listen, we win. You scored too high. You got to get the lowest score. You've made too many missed shots, okay? You've missed too many bogeys or anything. I haven't played golf in a long time, so I don't know all the rules like I used to. But, yeah, Street Profits basically say, y'all ain't win, okay? So, we up 2-1, so anything you can do, we can do better. So next thing you know, I did kind of like how Montez Ford was announcing about one of the golf thing. Listen, if Hansen can get the shot, he could win this game. But I know at one point they start pulling stuff out of the hold in. I guess they were trying to pull the ball back out. But what Hansen, he pulled a wallet. Then he pulled out one of the Street Profits cups, which they got a lot of those red Solo cups. And then he pulled out a giant turkey leg. And then the alligator, which was there during this segment, from the pond, just was looking at Hansen. He was going to go fight the gator, or the little gator right there, but they held him back. So, yes, another comedy segment from this week with the Street Profits. And Hansen... Yeah, I don't know what to call these guys at this point. Viking Raiders or War Machine. I just try to call them War Machine most of the time, but yeah, they are this is just I don't know. You either gonna like this or you not gonna like it. Some say this is more of the sports entertainment part of this show, or whatever type of comedy segment. Feel like I've seen a lot of comedy insane segments on wrestling lately, but yes, the Street Profits though, and the War Raiders or the Viking Raiders or whatever the hell are just, I don't know. So what's next week, huh? We gonna bowl next week? We gonna play some table tennis next week? What sport we gonna play next week, man? We gonna play some baseball? I don't know, dodgeball, football, soccer. What sport y'all coming up next week? You want to talk about axe throwing? Let's do some archery next week, huh? You want to do that? What we gonna go hunting next week? What is the next plan out of this that has nothing to do with the tag titles? I have zero clue. Like I said, this reminds me of Matt Hardy and MVP back then doing these series of competitions. Okay, only difference is they weren't on location anywhere. So I don't know where this is going, but we'll get back to them in a second, though. But you're either going to like this segment or you're not going to like this segment. I got a small laugh out of this, so it was still bad, but it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen before. I got a couple laughs out of this. I know at one point, what was it? MVP and Last Shoe headed to the back. Lana pretty much gave MVP a bag of ice, pretty much saying, sorry for what McIntyre did to you. MVP pretty much said that, McIntyre was disgrace, there was disgrace, not to her, but him. And this is about Lashley, okay? Because MVP pretty much said, like, this is his first opportunity in 13 years. And at Backlash, he would get the WWE title. Pretty much gave the ice back and, pretty much says that you need to be one out of the picture. Then they just show Lana yelling. Very bad acting from Lana. It looked like she's just reading off of something that's doing this random, horrible yelling. Like I said, if y'all can get rid of Lana out of this thing as much as possible, I have no problem with this. Lashley and MVP, way bigger upgrade than Lana, okay? I've said this many times before. I don't know how many times I got to reiterate that, but can we just take Lana out the segments? And I'm starting to agree with people say on the internet tonight. I think they released the wrong person now. Yeah, let's release Rusev, but we're going to keep Lana, though. I have no clue why, and Lana adds no value to this. That I feel like she's just there in this thing to be in this whole story, okay? I don't know if it's going to be something where she screws Lashley out the title or something, but I feel like she adds no value to this, and it just comes off as very bad acting, and look like she's reading off of cue cards, and I don't even know what her purpose is there anymore. Like I said, get rid of Lana, move on to something better. MVP and Lashley, way better, manager, team, or whatnot. It beats Lana. I can say that right now. But next, though, Austin Theory and Murphy went against Aleister Black and Humberto Carrillo. I know some guy was singing Aleister Black's theme song in the crowd. I don't know who, but I could hear him singing because he was doing the that whole sound when it comes to the song and whatnot. But the match itself didn't really go on that long. It ended up with Austin Theory and Murphy beating Humberto. Another L for Humberto again. You know who's gonna. If you see Humberto in this match, you know who's taking the L out of this whole thing. But pretty much then right after, they ended up beating up Humberto. Aleister Black had got a chair at one point, was gonna get the save, but Rollins pretty much they had Humberto's face position to basically where Ray was. Mess up his eye, and Seth told him, you better put down a chair. Put down a chair or this man will lose an eye, okay? Listen, Ray was a sacrifice. He did this for the greater good. Don't let another one happen. Aleister Black ended up putting the chair down. Rollins pretty much says, all right, we won't make the sacrifice. Let him go. And they pretty much walked away after that. That segment, which, by the way, this was really good. Good stuff from Seth. It almost reminded me a few years ago when they were going to break Edge's neck on Raw. If you remember that whole thing about the Authority and John Cena, or the infamous John promo by Seth Rollins from, 2015-16, if I remember. With the whole, like I said, the Authority, and Seth was going to break Edge's neck if John didn't bring the Authority back. That's what that segment reminded me for, except it's not Seth saying John, because I do remember that. But not a bad segment. Like I said, Seth leading, like I said, Austin Theory, which, by the way, his jacket looks raw, by the way, and Murphy, that was good. Especially threatening to, kill Humberto, or pretty much do the same thing they did to Rey Mysterio last week with the eye thing. Next, though, we got Edge, who was sitting somewhere in the back, cutting a promo, pretty much talking about being back. Then, he was basking in the glow of WrestleMania at the time, and he said he's been retired for over 3,212 days, and that, in the time Orton wrestled, 1,126 matches, he says. Which, by the way, Edge said he did research on this, but Edge talked about how he's got to prove himself now, basically. Yes, he is back, because the strange thing, he wants to thank Orton for doing this, because some things he's been contemplating on that he doesn't know what to do, because he's been watching, Undertaker's documentary, The Last Ride, which he's in himself, and he talked about when is it time to hang up the boots. And, Edge was retired at one time, and now here he is, he's back. So Dead Man, he gets it, he says to him. But Edge pretty much went on talk about all these people he has faced throughout the years, from to Cena, to Orton, to Undertaker, to Mysterio, to Owen Hart. Surprisingly, they mentioned him on TV. I've heard that in a while. Maybe you're gonna start thinking the whole documentary thing. British Bulldog, several legends named, Shawn Michaels, several guys Edge has faced throughout the many years. But he's adapted to every style, and when his job, when it was his job to pretty much bring people to his level right now, he does what he does job. He does a damn good. He's damn good at it, as he said. He said he was a 5-tool workhorse in this company, and now he's pretty much talked about how that was the past tense, but he doesn't know if he can do all this anymore. So in a way, he's doubting himself, but he says he's going to dig deep in the very depths of his soul, and he's going to try, he says. That's all a man can do, as he said. About that, it's Edge. So another great, fantastic promo by him. I will give him one thing. I know this whole greatest match ever thing is ridiculous, and it just, every time when I hear it, I just keep laughing about it. But at least Edge is doing his best to get this over. Hopefully the match result, it will be better than what happened at WrestleMania. But like I said, Edge once again cuts another great promo. So at least he's doing his best to get this. He's doing his best to get this match over. I can say that, and this promo did prove something. No, so not a great one. Next though, they went back to the Street Profits and the Vikings, pretty much talking about the game. And next thing you know, the Raiders pretty much, how about Gator wrestling, or bowling next week. So yes, we got more insane segments from, like I said, the Raiders and Street Profits. What will happen next with that? But before that, they pretty much ran the MVP and Lashley. Pretty much said, oh, look again here. We got another team pretty much being wasted around here. Street Profits pretty much made fun of him, saying, yo, you got took in the Claymore country. And MVP said, you think that's a joke, huh? And he says, I got him with me, all right? And how about y'all bring the smoke tonight at ringside, and we'll see what's going on. Some are already saying that could they be recruiting the Street Profits into the team with Lashley and them. Wouldn't mind that. Be pretty good. Maybe being serious or something like that. But like I said, we'll get to that later on tonight. But MVP pretty much coming at them tonight. That was that was pretty good. So could it be leading into that? I don't know. Asuka was back out for commentary for the triple threat match with Nia Jax, Charlotte, and Natalya. Obviously, this match was very, very predictable, of course. Come on, we all knew who was going to win this. I said this Friday. Was it a bad match? Not really. Did I like the double power bomb they did on Nia Jax through the announce table? Yeah, looked pretty cool. Asuka on commentary, that's always great too. So you knew who was going to win this match and who was going to be taking the pinfall. Obviously, Charlotte's not losing, and she's the NXT Women's Champion, which then I already question why she's even in this match to begin with, but they need Charlotte because Charlotte is a god to them. Natalya, who is taking several L's, knowing you're not going to win this match. Then again, I already kind of got like a story thing with her taking all these losses right now. And Nia Jax is the only person, which I'm sure everybody does not really want to win, but come on, you knew she was going to win this match, okay? None of the other two women were not going to win this match. It wasn't bad or anything, but Nia Jax was going to win regardless. This was very predictable. And almost wondering why this match even had to really go on to begin with, okay? Because, come on, one's already the champion of a different show right now, so why is she even on here? But they need Charlotte on all three shows, and the other one is taking L's right now, but like I said, there is a story behind it. So, yeah, Nia Jax was the winner and will face Asuka at Backlash. Then again, I feel like Asuka's beaten this woman almost many, many times in the past before, so there you go. Next, though, they talked about the 24/7 title as R-Truth had a promo. Pretty much talked about, it wasn't Tom Brady, it was his friend Rob Gronkowski, and now he's going to get back his title. And then they had a promo from Gronk, who looks like he's trying to remember his words while cutting this promo, talking about Truth to bring it on, that, he hosted WrestleMania 36, and, thank God we got this guy out there as soon as possible, but, obviously, they still have that belt, and I guess Truth still has to get it back from him. He knows Truth has had, memories with this title and everything, but Gronk says he's not giving it up. They talk about growing up in the NFL and playing in the NFL, growing up with four brothers. He's prepared to be a champion, and pretty much says he put the shades on the back of his head then, because that's where he's going to be seeing anyone is going to be coming for that title. So, there you go. There you go. We still got this 24/7 title thing going on. Do I really care? No. I'm sure Truth will get it back from Gronk one way or another. But then again, I'm sure they will do it because it's not like football starting up anytime soon right now. So as long as he's not on WWE TV, or anything regards to this show, yeah, nobody wants Gronk on here anyways. But yeah. I don't know, just put the belt back on Truth. I forgot Gronk was the champion. They said he's the longest reigning champion. Yeah, he hasn't been on TV since WrestleMania. So I forgot he was even a champion until they've actually mentioned it. But, after that, they went to MVP, pretty much talking. I guess he was with Lashley and Caleb Braxton, pretty much interviewed him about tonight and this tag team match, and he said that's why I pointed Lashley. Next, we got Ric Flair on this show, which that was kind of surprised. I was surprised they waited this long to promote Ric Flair tonight, and it was in the third hour also, which obviously he's not going to be on this show due to the virus, and, at his age also, he can't really be out like that because you catch this virus, especially a lot of older people catching this virus, it's basically almost instant death. That's probably why we haven't seen Jerry Lawler back on his show in a while. So, obviously, Ric Flair was not going to be on here. He was going to be shown up by video message or some type of promo video, which, like I said, I don't know why they didn't hype it up earlier, but he talked about the Edge and Orton match. I guess he's got to try to get this over also. Flair talked about being some of the greatest wrestling matches he's ever been in, one of the greatest, wrestlers ever, as they went through highlights of his multiple matches, but they wanted to ask him about his prediction about who could be the greatest in the greatest wrestling match ever. And, talked about ever since he hung up his, his boots, his tights and everything, that the greatest in-ring performer right now is Randy Orton. That Orton will win at Backlash, basically. Both of these guys were in Evolution together. So, of course, Ric Flair is going to pick Randy Orton. Evolution. Who else was he going to pick, okay? So, yeah, he's going to pick Randy Orton. Next, they went to Liv Morgan again, pretty much talking about the stumbling block in her self-life or self-worth, and wonder what something that's been missing. But when she got into WWE, her first piece of wrestling gear with her name on it, she feels like she's going somewhere now, and that life has changed because, she didn't know where she was going to go, but she's going to fulfill what she's destined to be, and that she's living her best life. I have no idea what this promo was going sometimes with Liv Morgan, only to an extent I can understand this, but, I don't know if she's still going for the title, because then again, her promo last week I didn't know it made a lot of sense, but they're doing something with Liv Morgan. I'm still not connecting to it all the way, though. Next, what else did they do? Yeah, I guess Rey Mysterio's having some retirement ceremony next week, but we'll see what happens with that. Some people think Dominic will probably show up on the show again. That's possibly because then Rey tried to retire before. He probably will stop him again. But we got into the main event, though, with the Street Profits versus Bobby Lashley and MVP in the main event. One thing I will say was when Bobby Lashley threw Montez all the way to the barricade. I swear he hit his head real hard on there. That was a good throw. I'm not gonna lie, that was a really big throw. But like I said, this match went on. I think y'all knew who was gonna win this. I guess they didn't want the tag team champions losing here because after Montez Ford got his big frog splash on the MVP, he did not get the pinfall. Lashley threw Dawkins into the corner, but then he got in and he pretty much hit the full Nelson on him. Montez after that, he went past the 5 count for the referee, so I guess it was a disqualification. So it does protect the tag champions in a way, especially after they've been doing all these comedy segments. It would have been worse if they lost this match right here. But like I said, the main event wasn't that bad, but then basically after, Drew McIntyre came out there, him and Lashley brawled back and forth in and out the ring. The referee called for help, but I guess the referees didn't come out, so they called out the Performance Center trainees from the other side of the glass to come help. 2 of them came in, but they got taken down right after by Lashley and McIntyre, and then they called more of them in. As the referee called for more help, probably would have been easier without the glass, and they could have just jumped the barricade, but they basically had to run all the way around through the stage just to get up there and stop these guys. But, more the Performance Center trainees came out and held both of them back with Lashley and McIntyre. So, not a bad brawl with these two. I've seen these two face each other before, and I know they can put on a great match. I know I keep bringing up TNA a lot, but man, they were a lot. All these guys were basically the shit at the time over there that I vividly remember how this went, okay? I remember Lashley and MVP going against, not Lashley and MVP, but Lashley and McIntyre going against each other. What was it? Slammiversary 2000 and, 16, I believe it was, if I remember. So, was it 2017? No, 2016 was the Slammiversary, but I do remember that very well between Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre feuding with each other at the time. Okay, so I do remember that feud well, and this was actually really good too with this brawl they had out there also. So, like I said before, I know Lashley's going to be being fed to Drew, but I still think this is going to be a great match. At least Lashley is looking more serious out here. MVP with him is also good. So I do like this feud. I like what's going on. I know what's going to be the end results of this, but I like what I see right now. I really do. So, and the ending was pretty good too. With the pull apart brawl and everything. As for Raw tonight itself, a little up and down, I will say that. One thing I could count positive was the wrestling school students being out there as fans, pretty much at least making noise, getting some of this over. The Lashley MVP and Drew thing is really good too. That whole feud that's going on. I guess the negative is just this whole Street Profits Viking Raiders thing, however you want to take it. But yeah, we had golf this week. Maybe next week it'll be bowling or gator throwing or whatever sport you can think of. Maybe they'll play ping pong next week for all I know. Okay, like I said, a lot of these matches weren't bad tonight, but very predictable at the same time. Like that triple threat match, you already knew Nia Jax was going to win. It wasn't bad, but you just know Nia Jax was going to actually win this match. Apollo Crews winning the United States Championship. That was also a pretty good highlight. Not a bad match from him and Almas, but I was very glad to see Apollo Crews win the U.S. title tonight. Edge could have great promo tonight. That's another positive you could add from there. Murphy being part of, not Murphy, but Austin Theory being part of Seth's, crew or whatever Jesus thing he's trying to go right now. That's basically what he is. He is Jesus. And I like the whole Seth pretty much say he's going to threaten take away Humberto's eye on there, because it's basically like the same thing he did a few years ago with John Cena. Yeah, Kevin Owens. Yeah, we had the Owens show out there. Did anything with Garza. Garza them actually getting the win tonight. So Raw had its couple moments here and there. It's still some of it was still pretty bad to why is some stuff even happening on here, but this show was not as bad as I thought all the way. Like I said, I think one of the better positives was just putting the wrestling school students as fans out there. That is something I did like from this, okay? So, yeah, not a bad show, I should say, with Raw tonight. Probably seen worse, but hey, that's a Memorial Day edition for you, okay? So there you go. But yeah, other than that, though, that is my review for Monday Night Raw tonight. Like I said before, check out any review that is online right now, especially the Double or Nothing one that has been posted up. So check that out. Comment, subscribe, tell me what you think about Monday Night Raw tonight. I'm done with this review. I'm out of here. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. And like I've said, reiterated before, everything I just said, check that out, all right? So I'll see you guys later. Peace out. We'll see you tomorrow night for an Impact review. Out.